Last session, the kids completed their first mystery, the mystery of the hanging garden. After seeing some flyers and hearing some kids talking about missing local pets in the Engelbrecht Orchard area, the kids explored the woods nearby to discover a pair of velociraptors on the loose. Narrowly escaping the dangerous dinos, the kids discovered an old barn with an incubator and a bunch of miscellaneous electronic and scientific equipment that led them to believe that someone was creating these creatures. Investigating the nearby cabin, the kids stumbled into the mad scientist behind the project, who chased them off with a shotgun, but never getting a good look at any of them. The kids returned the following day to learn a little bit more, but discovered that the raptors had been trapped back in the barn, but the scientist had received mortal wounds in the process of corralling the beasts. A little background was gleaned at the site, but there was still some unanswered questions. The girls grabbed as much info from the cabin as they could, while the guys made the decision to burn the barn down with the raptors inside. The girls, however, did discover a nest of eggs in the nearby forest, and we have actually yet to determine what happened to those precious little gems. So I'll let you guys kind of fill me in on what you did with that. But once you were able to return home, I'm assuming that the girls went about sorting through all the paperwork that you salvaged from the cabin. And Gemma, likely being the astute student that she is, probably will have done or is going to do some more research on the stuff that you guys found there. I think, Shay, your plan was to, once everything was kind of wrapped up, return home that night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then Jack, I'm assuming that after you set it on fire, you drop the girls off and then head back to your home as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to get the Punker Conker back, and then also, did I notice the eggs?
Well, that's the thing, ladies. What did you do with the eggs?
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit. So how many eggs are there?
3.
3? How big are they? Like ostrich eggs?
Yeah,
size?
like ostrich size, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gemma, what do you think about this? Are these dinosaur eggs?
Well, they're bigger than duck eggs, because I've seen duck eggs, and duck eggs are definitely not this size. I'll bet that they're dinosaur eggs.
They're definitely bigger than any eggs you've seen before, other than, like maybe at the zoo and maybe getting a good look at an ostrich egg. I mean, they're almost exactly the same size as an ostrich egg, but they do have kind of like brownish spots on them, maybe a little bit of blue spots here and there too.
Oh, look at the spots. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. We have to keep them.
Keep them?
We have to save them.
What the heck are we gonna do with dinosaur eggs?
I don't know. But there aren't any other in the world. We have to save this. It's like a discovery or something. There's probably someone in the science department that we can talk to.
What? So you think we should take them?
Well, what if we just leave them here? Like, what's gonna happen?
Well, first of all, if the guys discover them, they're going to stomp them and destroy them because they've already destroyed the last dinosaur alive. So
They weren't supposed to do that.
I agree.
I bet they did.
Angry about that. I'm still very angry about that. All right.
We have to take them. We have to take them and protect them and raise them like our own.
All right. Okay, sure.
You're gonna find her sitting on them somewhere, incubating.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I guess I have a box with paperwork, like a cardboard, like I don't know what those are called, file boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make room in there and put them in there. Put the lid on it before the guys find us. I don't think we should tell them at all.
No, they'll kill them. They're trying to hide their tracks.
Okay.
No idea what we're going to do with these.
All right.
So they get back to the truck, and then I get back to the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can I roll a die for notice?
What's there to notice? They've got the boxes that they took with them.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. That's true. Nothing out of the ordinary. I don't notice that they're acting awkward.
Ladies, you can, since he's kind of asking that question. You can roll a heart charm.
If I have real dice, how many dice would I have to roll to make that happen?
Let's see, for you, or if you want me to roll for you, I can do that. Would that just be easier? What'd you say, Christy?
That's also an option.
All right, let me just see what we get here.
I've got a bunch of dice.
Oh, hold on, can't see that. It says you're still upset. We gotta take. Oh no, you would be still upset because we're still in that time period. So yeah, that's gonna be a -1 die for you. Okay, so Shay got a success. Gemma failed. So Jack, if you want to roll a
I think Jack should just ask her why she's acting so weird and see what she has to say.
mind empathize. and then he can ask.
Okay. No.
He got a success. Okay.
At what point do I have to say I'm going to use my luck and roll again?
You can do that now if you want.
Okay.
Or if you want to wait until he asks you the question, you can do that as well.
Okay, I'll do that. Let's hear
Okay.
it.
All right. So Andy.
So you guys got everything out of the cabin you guys wanted?
Except the dinosaurs?
Well, we had no choice. We had to get rid of the dinosaurs. That would have been catastrophic had they gotten back out again. But you got everything out as far as the plans and everything. You didn't plan on, you didn't run across anything else. You took everything you needed.
Whatever, killer.
Well, look, despite what you think I am, I know that if my brother was here, he would back me 100%. Because when you have dangerous animals on the farm, you have to put them down, and that's what we had. We had 2 dangerous animals, and I know scientifically they were important, but they could not be left alive because we had no way of wrangling the lost raptors, and we don't know who we could trust with them either.
Do you hear that noise, Shay?
It's sirens.
No, I don't hear. I don't hear anything.
Girls, come on! All right.
You do hear sirens, and you do see smoke billowing off in the distance.
We've got to get out of here. So just put the stuff in the truck here. Let me take that box from you, and you guys get
Son
in.
of a bitch.
No, I got it.
Hey, seriously, I'll take it.
Hurry.
I will take the box.
Get in the
I don't need.
You guys get in the truck. I will take the box. and I'll put it in the front seat with this. You guys climb in the back.
I do not need help.
We got to get out of here.
I want to be a boy. So
Okay.
I climb in the back with the boxes. Turd.
Well, we can't put them in the back. All the paper is gonna fly out.
Start the freaking truck. We gotta go. They're gonna be after us. They're gonna know we've done something.
Here, put the boxes up front, and I'll get in and start it. You guys climb in the back. We got to get out of here. You guys are delaying, not me.
Okay, so I hop out of the truck. I get my skateboard. I get on my skateboard, and I just start rolling down the road with this box.
With the box.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm taking this fucking box.
All right, I get in the truck and I pull up next to her, and hopefully, oh gosh, hold on, Christy's character, I can't think of it. Gemma. Hopefully, Gemma's in the truck, so I'm not looking. But I pull up next to her. I'm like, Shay, get in the truck. I will. Let's just get out of here.
Okay, I get in the back.
Okay.
Okay.
Little turd.
Damn, I almost had it.
Bye.
All right, so we're back. We go back and drop everything off at headquarters, and then I take everybody home. And next day,
I think you should take me home first. I need to get home.
okay.
Who is taking the box? Is Gemma taking the box?
I'll take it and hide it in my
I thought we were
house.
taking it. I thought we were taking it back to headquarters. That's
We
what we
didn't
agreed last game.
We did not agree on that.
You weren't there when we talked about what we were doing with the egg.
Could have swore. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so Shay's got the box with the eggs.
Yes.
Gemma has some of the other paperwork, yes?
Yeah, there may be some paperwork in Shay's box, and I'll just wait for a sign, I guess, as to whether she's gonna take the box and get away from Jack,
Okay.
or if I'm gonna come with my box too, and we sort through everything.
Gotcha.
Gemma, we can put all the papers in my attic if you want.
Okay. Sounds good. So Jack,
Well,
will you drop us off?
So they're nice and hidden. So no one will discover them.
Okay.
Hi,
I
Jack.
gotcha. Bye.
Okay, so Jack, you're going to your house. The two
Yep.
ladies are at their individual homes then for the night?
I think Gemma could come to my house for a bit if she wants to. She might want to just go home though. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll come. I want to make sure that the eggs get taken care of, like we have a plan. But also, if I'm invited to spend the night, I would spend the night if my mom will let me. We'll see.
Okay. Well, you guys get to Shay's. And it's a Saturday, I believe. I think that's what we had said. And it's in the afternoon at this point. If you recall, it was around about noon or so, I think, that you had seen the little red balloon that had flown. So afternoon at this point. Getting maybe a little bit closer to dinner time probably right now. And your dad, Shay, is home. And he's watching TV in the living room when you guys come in, and he spots you over the shoulder and he said, "Oh, well, you're home early on a Saturday."
Yeah, we just had to. We're working on a project for school, so.
Oh, this is. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, sweetie.
I'm Gemma.
Oh, Gemma. Right. I'm sorry.
I'm Mr. Shay's dad.
Edwards.
Edwards.
Shay's dead.
Well, are you guys going to be around for a while? I was thinking about putting dinner in here in a little bit.
I Sure. Come on, Gemma. Let's go to my room.
Okay.
Awkward parental interaction. That felt so real, though. Oh my god. I feel dirty now. Even plastic.
Need like a disclaimer at the bottom. You may experience awkward parental interaction in this episode.
Now, all of you have at least one condition, if not more. So if you want to spend a little bit of time either A, helping each other out, or going to an anchor to heal those conditions, you can do that. Now, you can heal each other's condition by doing I think it's a heart lead, I believe.
That just sounds dirty.
Yes, heart lead.
I'm gonna go and talk to my Memaw.
Okay.
Aw.
That should get rid of my conditions, because
Sure.
conditions automatically reset with the next.
Technically,
adventure, right?
technically yes, but since we're kind of in an interlude because we're missing 2 people right now,
Gotcha.
This will be a good way to kind of role play that and actually get them healed.
Okay.
And that affects our rolls, so mine's not marked anymore.
I went through and I changed everybody's because I was expecting that we were just moving on to the next one, but you did have I think a couple, if I remember correctly. So since Jack is going to his Memaws, I'll go ahead and tackle that first, if that's okay, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
So you show up at Memaw's house, and she probably lives not too far from the farm. I would imagine.
I was gonna say she probably lives just in the parents live in the front, Memaw lives in the back.
Okay, yeah. Same house or just
No, I think
different house?
I think it's all one property.
Okay,
in a farm property.
Mhm. But a different house than where you actually physically live, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe theirs is the original farmhouse, and then they ended up building this for your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Okay. So you park the clunker off in the field or wherever it is you guys store that, and head over to Memaw's, and it's afternoon, late afternoon at the point by the time that you get there, and she is sitting in her rocking chair watching Sanford and Son.
I would have thought it'd been more yeehaw.
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw, yeah. So anyway.
Hey, this Saturday afternoon certainly could have been hee-haw.
Oh yeah, it could have been Sanford and Son. Hey Memaw.
Oh, Jack. I didn't hear you come in. How are you, sweetie?
I'm doing all right. Hey, did you fix anything good to eat today?
Oh, well, I've got some brownies off in the kitchen there. They're might be a little bit cool. It's been a little while since I put them in, but you can help yourself there.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Thanks, Memaw. I'm starving.
I'm just watching my stories here.
Yep. And so do you want one? Do you want me to bring you one?
Oh, I shouldn't, but okay. If you'll twist my arm, I'll have one with you.
Do you want some milk with it?
Well, of course. What's a brownie without milk?
All right. So go in and get them. Bring them back out.
So
Here you go.
what have you been up to this weekend?
Oh, just running around, doing different things in the city. We did a little hiking earlier, running through the woods and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, out of character here, do you remember what some of your conditions were that you might have taken?
I think I was all the way up to exhausted.
So did you have like any others or just exhausted?
Oh, I think it was like started upset and then went scared and then
Exhausted. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think both Corey, I were exhausted, and I think maybe even Shay, if I remember right.
Okay. So she, as your anchor, will help to heal those. But in order to do that, technically you need to kind of role play some of that out. So I'll kind of pitch to you as Memaw.
Okay.
Honey, you look so tired. What? You just look exhausted. Are you all right?
Yeah, we like I said, we just had an interesting night where, you know, we would run through the woods. We thought we heard some things, saw some things, and we kind of got scared, and so we took off running some more. So we've done a lot of running. At the same time, we ran into the scary guy. But he didn't hurt us or anything, but it was just one of those situations where he's a little scary, and then he had these we'll just say 2 animals on his property. They were really scary. Again, didn't get hurt, but it was just something that we had not experienced for a while at least. It's kind of like that time when cousin Jim he came across that bear in the woods. Well, it's something like that.
Well, you said that were you on somebody's property?
Oh, it was accidental. We were by Pigeon Creek, and we just happened to cross on the line, and then the guy let us know, and so.
Oh yes, well, you've got to be careful. You know what I said about running through people's yards. You just can't be running through people's yards. People are very protective of their homes and their property.
Yeah.
So you when you're out gallivanting around, you boys need to be careful out there. Don't trespass on other people's property. People don't like that now.
Well, we try not to. We try to be good boys, or Memaw, but like I said, if there was no fence or anything that we crossed through. It was just kind of open.
You didn't get bit or anything, did you? You said he had some animals?
Yeah, no. We didn't get bit. No, it was okay. And I take a brownie and just kind of shove it in my mouth. And
Well, you go get you another brownie in there. It sounds like you've had a rough night.
I sure will. And Memaw, I do have a question. If you knew that something just wasn't right, would you report it? Do you trust people enough to report something wrong? Or would you just kind of keep it a secret and let it go?
Well, I suppose it means it really depends on what you're talking about.
Well, do you trust the big industry that's in town that has all the that has the big factory and stuff like that? Do you trust them?
No,
to do the right thing?
No, so much has changed. I don't even recognize the city anymore. It's not the city that I grew up in. There's just too much technology that I just don't understand. I sit here with my black and white TV, and that's all I need.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, Memaw. I kind of think the same way as you. That I don't know the city very much, but it not as you remember it. But I just don't necessarily trust those that I see around me sometimes.
Well, I sure do appreciate your company. And you can come to me anytime that you have any trouble. Now, let me get you another glass of milk. I'm going to get you some milk. She gets up and she totters off into the kitchen. You hear the refrigerator door open and she's pouring the milk, and then you hear a glass break in the kitchen. Oh, it's all right. I just dropped the glass.
And I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in and check it out.
All right. She has one hand on the counter and then the other hand on her temple, and she's got her eyes closed when you come in there.
Memaw, are you sure you're okay?
Oh no, I'm fine, sweetie. I'm fine. I've got this terrible headache. It's just, it's kind of sent me a little bit for a loop, but I'm fine.
Well, I tell you what, let me help you down, and I'll go get Paul.
No, you don't need to get Paul. He's fine. I'm fine. It's just a little headache. It's no problem. Just let's get this. If you'll clean up the glass, I'll get another one, and we'll start another glass here for you. It's fine. I'm okay.
You go outside. I'll take care of this.
I can get the glass. It's fine. You
okay.
Clean up the broken glass. I'll get the new one. I'll pour it for you. It's all fine.
Okay, Memaw.
All right.
That was me sleeping up the glass.
All right, and then your conditions would be healed after this little interaction here. She makes you feel a little bit better. So,
okay.
All right.
Memaw, one last question.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you have some of that big league chew that I around here that I chew at ball games?
Check in the junk drawer. Yeah, that's where I always keep it.
Oh, all right. So I'm switching out my lucky item for big league chew right now.
All right. Look out for all of those rubber bands in there. It's underneath all of those rubber bands and the thimbles.
Awesome.
All right, ladies, you guys are there sorting through all the goodies that you found. So what do you want to do there?
Well, I guess we had to go in my room because Dad's home and he'll see us going up in the attic.
Well, the attic space is probably in the hallway where you got to pull that, pull it down, where it's spring loaded, from the ceiling.
Yeah.
If you're quiet enough, you might be able to get it up there, but that would certainly be kind of a stealthy kind of roll. So that would be a body sneak if you wanted to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Because let's roll some more. Why not?
Oh, there you go. 2 successes. All right. You know that there's a certain spot in this thing that once you get it down to a certain point, it goes pang and always makes that noise. But you have figured out a way to bring it down slowly, and right where you feel the tension. As soon as you feel that tension, if you go really fast with it, it bypasses that little spring.
That's because that's where she hides her reefer.
Right. And it doesn't make the sound, so you can pull it down, and then you guys can sneak up there without much of a problem, and then pull it back up, and okay. You can be alone for a while up there.
Awesome. Well, let's do that. So I climb up and I reach down, and she hands me the box, and then she climbs up the ladder.
Okay.
Pull it up. You have to be very quiet because the floor creaks up here. Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess, take the box with the eggs kind of over to the far side of the attic where there's tons of boxes, stuff of my mom's, probably grandparent things, Christmas decorations, whatnot, junk. But there's a window, there's like a small window, and probably, I guess, heating duct coming through, and that's probably the warmer spot. So I think I'm gonna take the eggs over there, get an old blanket, make a little nest, put them in there. What the hell are we gonna do with dinosaurs in my attic? What are we doing? What are we doing, Jenna?
That sounds like a Shel Silverstein book.
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaurs in the attic.
Dinosaurs in the attic. With a horror ending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect. This is perfect. They're gonna love it. They'll be fine here. How long do you think we have? Oh my gosh. Jack was so annoying. Can you believe it?
I'm so pissed off at him. He was being such a jerk. Wouldn't even trust me with the keys to the clunker, and I was just gonna move it closer so that we could get away quickly because I knew they'd be after us.
I know, and then he's like, Billy Joe would take my side, and Billy Joe would totally not take his side.
We would totally not take his side. I agree. Anyway, so what are we gonna do with these?
good. Okay. More importantly,
Oh,
I
Uh-oh.
have to figure out what.
He goes,
You froze there for a
you
second.
froze.
more importantly,
You were that
yes,
was the result of the evil look I was giving you, just so you know. It's
Okay. More importantly, I've got to research how to raise dinosaur eggs. I think I can find something in the library, but
you know what? What if we find something in this paperwork we stole? We should go through that.
wait, spread it all out everywhere.
Okay,
And then-
so
We're gonna have to go downstairs and eat dinner with my dad. Ugh,
mhm.
so uncomfortable.
So you're gonna want to roll a mind comprehend.
Who, Christy or me?
Probably Christy. Now you can say that you're going to assist, and I got to remember how to do that. There's a way to help.
you put your fingers to your temples and be like,
Yeah, here we go. One kid can help another overcome trouble if it seems plausible in the situation. Just describe what you do, and your friend gets one extra die to roll. Okay. And I'm going to have to roll for you, aren't I?
Well, I've got 5 6-sided dice.
Okay.
That's
So you will need to roll 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 dice
You
altogether.
can roll for me then.
Okay. Oh, +1. I forgot to roll the bonus dice. But you got 2 successes anyway. So let me just see if I can just roll a single die here. I'm going to end up rolling 2, but I'm only going to count the first one I see. Here we go. So that would be 5. So 2 successes. And with that, you got an extra bonus there. So that would mean you get additional information and a +1 bonus die to roll when you use that information. So we have to kind of remember that you've got a +1 if you decide to use the information that you get. Now, I will say all of this information that you guys have, you probably have about 4 boxes in total of information that you all just were cramming in there. Anything that looked important, you were just jamming it in these boxes just to get it out of there and get it in the truck and get away with it. So it's going to take probably about 2 hours just to sort through all of this stuff. And based off of what you got, Gemma, you can tell that you're probably going to have to do a little bit of research outside of just the paperwork that you have here to kind of make sense of some of it. But just to give you a couple of little things, you do get the name of the individual that was there, and I can't remember if you guys got that yet or not. Did you ever figure out what his name was last time?
I don't know if the guy right before he died was telling us. I don't know if he and then didn't tell us, or
He I know did not tell you. I just didn't know. I couldn't remember if you found something in his cabin or not.
oh,
So,
yeah, there was a diploma, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was thinking that there was something there. Okay, I think I got this over here. So yes, he was a graduate of Purdue University. Arthur Pemberton was his name. And he was an employee of the Evansville Museum. And was fired several years ago for what seems to be inappropriate behavior, but reading the notes that you've been able to kind of cobble together, it sounds like he was spouting off and kind of bragging about himself a little bit, and that he felt like that he was being terminated wrongfully. But eventually it was discovered that he was actually taking some of the fossil samples home with him, and that's ultimately what he was terminated for. What else? He was also tapping into the power of the loop directly, utilizing some equipment that he had stolen from Dart and Sigiko, and had buried a line along that trail, reaching out to those transmission towers that you guys had walked underneath there off of Mill Road. And that's how he was powering the source that he was using to do the experiments that he was working on in the barn. But like I said, a lot of this stuff you might be able to expand upon if you're able to visit the library within the next couple of days. So you might be able to get a little bit more information there.
This is important information that we have to have for like the world. I mean, nobody has figured out how to make dinosaurs, but this guy did, and it's all right here. So we have to get this to the library so the archivist can protect it and save the information for future generations. So that's my plan.
I think you're right. And I can't keep dinosaurs in my attic.
Yeah, not forever, but maybe for a couple nights, right?
Let's hope so.
Maybe I can look that up too.
Maybe you should.
Girls, I've got dinner ready.
Shit. Listen, you don't have to stay if you don't want to.
Well, what's wrong? I don't know. Like, he seems fine. Like, he can probably make a dinner, right? He's okay.
My mom and dad generally cook together, so he's not too bad at it, but mom was better at it. But really, you don't have to stay. It's just going to be weird anyway.
Why? What's so weird?
We just don't get along. I don't know. Ever since mom died, he's just weird.
I'm sorry.
But you don't have to stay, really.
Were you close to your mom?
Of course. But I don't want to talk about that. Can we just... Are you going to stay for dinner, or are you leaving?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
Fine. All right. We better get down there, though, because he's going to get... We don't want him coming up here.
Right.
Here. I forget the noise you made.
So you guys end up coming back downstairs and coming into the dining room, and he's got hamburgers kind of set up and fries. Looks like he stuck some fries in the oven. He didn't do the deep fryer because he doesn't know how to use that. But he stuck some fries in the oven and made a pretty nice little spread with enough hamburgers for the three of you. You know, you can have two if you like. He fixed two for each of you. And he says, "Well, I'm glad you brought a friend home with you. It's nice to see you socializing. Were you just up in the attic?"
Well, we were just putting up some of these boxes from school.
All right. Well, be careful up there. There's a bunch of rusty nails that are just sticking out all over the place. I don't want you cutting yourself.
It's fine, Dad.
All right. All right. So, Gemma, right?
Yes.
Well, welcome. Just help yourself. I've just laid everything out here for you. We'll just grab a bite to eat. I'm gonna keep the TV on if that's all right. And he sits down, starts to dress his burger, and the evening news is on. And Jack at Memaw's, as you're cleaning up the glass, the news clicks on in the living room. You overhear a report. A fire broke out in the woods across from Engelbrecht Orchards earlier this morning. The fire started in an abandoned barn and spread to the nearby cabin. Neighbors from the area called in the incident, and fortunately, firefighters arrived in time to prevent the forest from catching ablaze. The body of an unidentified male was discovered at the scene. The cause of this fire has yet to be determined. Jack, do me a favor and roll a mind comprehend for me.
Oh no. Okay.
Oops. Okay.
Me no comprehend.
So, other than you going, oh shit, that's about all you get. Ladies,
Yep.
if you want to roll a mind comprehend, you can. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for you though to get what I was hoping maybe that he might get.
Okay.
That be for me.
Mind comprehend.
Here's A6. And mind comprehend for Gemma. That's a total of 8 there for you as well. Go ahead and roll that for you. And you got 3 successes. Okay, so with the 3 successes for you, you guys argued about this quite a bit. You remember the layout. You've got almost like a photographic memory of how this was all set out. Now, this was in a clearing, okay, in the middle of the woods, but in this area here, it was pretty open, at least to the sky. You know, you had a really good clear view of the sky. And it was far enough away from the woods that if the barn caught on fire, it wasn't going to light the woods on fire. So that in and of itself doesn't quite ring right to you. And the position of the cabin in relation to the barn, it would have been way more likely for the woods to catch on fire than it would have the cabin to have caught on fire, unless the boys themselves specifically burned the cabin, which you don't know for a fact. And right around about that time, the phone rings at Shay's house, and Dad gets up, goes to the phone that's by the back door, hanging on the wall, and grabs it and answers. And he says, "Hello." There's a little bit of a pause. Okay, yeah, just a moment, girls. I don't want to bother you. I'm going to take this outside. It's work. I'm going to just go ahead and take this out here. And he opens the screen door and closes the door behind him.
Takes the long cable.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the really long cable out. Yeah. Shay.
Yeah.
Give me a mind empathize. And I'm going to give you an extra die on that one.
Okay. Where do I add that one?
It'll give you an option to do a extra die, I think.
Try that.
Oh shit! God damn it! I just closed Foundry.
No.
Uh-oh.
I got 12 successes.
Ooh, 12?
What? No.
Because you closed it.
It's just dumb. I just clicked the wrong little box. Were you able to roll before I did that or no?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So Dad very rarely stammers. He's a professor and he's used to talking in public. And even at home, he still oftentimes sounds, like he's teaching a class. But there was just a little bit of a shakiness and a stammer to his voice that kind of gets your dander up just a little bit. You kind of feel like he wasn't maybe telling you the truth just now.
Okay. Gemma, come here. Oh, no, we're gonna sneak back to the back office where there's another phone.
Okay.
What are we doing? Let's go.
Come on, quiet, hurry up.
Okay.
I'm dragging her down the hallway to the back office.
I've got my 2 hamburgers.
Close the door. And I go over to the phone and very gently pick up the phone because you know how hard it is to pick up phones like that.
Right? Yeah. You got to just really careful.
Right in the middle where you have to pick it up really fast.
Okay, body sneak again.
Okay. How did it go? It didn't show up on the thing.
Oh yeah, I think you got to reload.
Oh crap.
Sorry.
That's all right. Let me try it again. Pause the video. I gotta sign in again.
Hey, your dad's got a really neat swivel chair.
And one of those clacker things.
Oh.
Stop touching everything. You gotta be very quiet. Come on. Okay, body sneak.
Oh.
Huh. It still didn't show up on the thing.
And didn't show up on yours?
Oh, there it is. Okay, took
Okay.
a minute.
All right.
A weird lesson tonight.
And Andy, you're going to want to reload yours as well. So that was a failure. Do you?
How can I re-roll?
Um,
I gotta re-roll that if I can.
yeah, you can.
Do I have anything left after?
Well, yeah.
Do I have anything left?
You were upset, scared, and exhausted. So injured is about the only other thing. So
Oh,
maybe you can jam your thumb while you're trying to do this.
stub my toe as I reach for the phone really hard on the desk. Or I could just get in trouble, whatever.
It's up to you.
I don't want to get in trouble. This is terrifying.
And you still had some luck rolls, I think, right?
I don't think so. I don't
Now,
remember.
did you burn through all of those too?
I honestly don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a new episode, does the luck refresh?
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The
So
luck
there you go.
says?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to do that. And do I just click on the re-roll?
Well, hold on. I think the luck. I'm getting confused here. Give me 1 second here. I forget what the luck actually does. One of them just gives you an automatic success. So.
I don't remember.
You can spend a luck point after a failed dice roll. It lets you re-roll failed dice.
So do I click on the re-roll in
Yep.
the chat box, or
Yep.
do I click on the? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And luck point. Reroll. Big money. No whammy.
There you go. Okay, so you got one success. All right. So you're able to just lift it up just enough and bring it up to your ear. And you hear now the voices on the phone. You definitely hear your dad. And he says, you catch him kind of mid-sentence, but he says, somewhat. And the other voice on the phone is a deep voice. It's one that you've not heard before. You've met, some of the other professors and some of the folks that your dad works with at the University of Evansville. But it's definitely not a voice you recognize, and it seems to be somewhat of a commanding voice. Okay? And deep. I understand. Your daughter is with you, yes? Yes, indeed. Well, we're just wanting to check in on you. Right, once a month, you said. That's correct. Are you healthy, Professor? Any aches and pains? No, no more than usual. Are you feeling particularly tired? I wouldn't say so, no. Shortness of breath or wheezing? No, sir. Excellent. Is your daughter doing well? As well as can be expected under the circumstances, I'd say. Completing her schoolwork? Not so much, no. Are you still having difficulty with truancy? Yes, I'm afraid that's still an issue, but we're working on it. You're going to need to get right on that, Mr. Edwards. I'm aware. I'm doing my best. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead, Professor. How much longer is this going to be going on? Hard to say. This is really not being fair to me and my daughter. I don't appreciate being put into this position, especially when there is no end in sight. Patience is all we are asking for, Professor. It will all be over soon. Not soon enough. Very well. Your concerns are noted. Have a good evening, Mr. Edwards. And then line goes dead.
Hang up the phone very quickly. Shit.
And are you going back to the kitchen?
Right across the hall to my bedroom, and then pretend like we're coming out of my bedroom. And I'm dragging Gemma along.
Okay.
They're cheeseburgers.
Just like she's got her cheeseburgers,
All right, so you guys are coming out of your bedroom then as your dad is coming back into the house. He walks over to the phone, hangs it up, and is heading back to the kitchen table.
Oh, that was cool, Shay. Thanks for showing me your bedroom. Hi, Mr. Edwards. This is a delicious hamburger. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. And he just, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did Gemma hear the conversation?
Depends.
Hear
I
it?
mean, did you kind of kick it to where both of you guys could hear? I mean, that's kind of what I was picturing in my mind, is that you both had your ear up to it.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounded like nothing to me. Like somebody's checking in, seeing how things are done. I don't know. We didn't have time to debrief, but Shay looks like it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm nervous.
All right, I'm going to cut back over to Jack real quick. Memaw pours the glass of milk for you, has given it to you. You guys heard that news report. And is there anything after you finish up with your milk and brownies that you want to do at this point?
Conditions are all fully.
Yeah, those are healed.
So,
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just, I'll just So Memaw, is there anything you need before I go back to see if Paul needs something?
Well, I tell you, if you wouldn't mind feeding Clyde on your way out, that's her poodle. I didn't get his food out, and I'm still a little lightheaded from my spell.
Okay, well, I'll do that so that you can watch the episode of Love Boat coming up.
Oh, you know how I love Captain Steubing.
That's right.
That
Don't
little
forget.
bald head of his just reminds me of your grandpa.
All right. Well, I will feed the dog.
All right. Well, you be good, and I'll see you at church tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely, Memaw. I'll be down to get you.
Okay.
All right. I love you, Memaw.
All right. I love you too. You sleep good tonight.
Okay. I feed the dog,
Okay.
which that dog hates me, by the way.
I'm sure it does.
Poodle. It's kind of hoping you'd say donkey or pig or no, a poodle. Okay. And I make my way back to the house.
Okay. Anything that you want to do there at the house when you get back?
Sneak in and try to avoid Billy.
Okay. Billy's actually still out working on the tractor.
Okay.
Apparently it was a pretty major issue that he had to take care of with your dad. So they're both outside still working.
No, I mean, other than I can't think of anything offhand without involving others.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting too late. Nobody's going to allow us to go anywhere at this point. So,
Okay. All right. We'll jump back to the girls here real quick then. So dinner's finished up, and Dad kind of retires back to the living room. And he asks before he goes in there, he says, is Gemma going to be staying with us tonight?
I look at Gemma.
I look at Shay.
Is it all right if she stays tonight? If she can get her mom to say yes?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's great. We'd love to have you.
Okay, let's call your mom. Hey, Dad. After I do the dishes, I think we're gonna go take a walk around the block.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Drag Gemma with me.
Hey.
To go out the back door, out to the back alley,
Okay.
around the block.
There anything you want to do while you're out there, or do we want to fast forward to later?
Well, what
I don't
was
know
that?
if she has any questions for me about that weird thing
Question.
where she didn't think it was weird. Then
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been at your house before, and it's kind of amazing. Like, you have an attic, which is really cool. And then there's this, like, these hamburgers are really delicious, and that's exciting. It's like, I don't know. It was really neat that your dad made us dinner. That was cool. But what was that phone call all about?
I don't know. It's just the whole thing is so weird. I don't know. It's stupid.
What do you mean?
I just feel like there's something not right about what is going on and what happened to my mom, and I think my dad knows more. And this that phone call sounded super sketch, so I don't know. Something's going on, and they're keeping tabs on me or something, and that's super freaky.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I don't like that one bit.
What do you mean about your mom?
She died, and she got really sick, and I swear there was something about my dad. He had something to do with it. At least it's just a feeling I get.
he knew who that guy was. Like, he wasn't surprised.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know where else to go. How close are we to the library? We're pretty far away from the library, aren't we?
I don't know that we necessarily determined exactly where you live.
I think we live near in those fancy neighborhoods over near U of E.
Oh, by U of E. Okay, right. All right. So yeah, that's a little bit of a ways. It's not within great walking distance, especially at that time of night.
Right.
I mean,
you could go to the U of E library.
Yeah, but she has a special connection to Willard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we lost you.
We lost you there, Christy.
Oh, yikes. I said Willard is where I have a position of responsibility.
Yeah.
But all libraries are really cool, and I don't mind stopping in anywhere, but I'm just kind of walking with Shay and hearing what she has to say. And
I think that's all I have to say about that.
yeah, I'm trying to be a good listener because I think she reminds me of my sister, and when my sister got upset, she ran away, and I don't want that to happen to Shay, so I'm trying to make her feel a little bit better. And maybe say, yeah, I agree. That's really strange. I think you're right. And validate what she's feeling.
You're such a good friend, Christy. I mean, Gemma.
So we'll see. But at some point, I will have to figure out how to get those documents to my library where I have my connections. So either in the morning I'll have to call my mom and ask her to pick me up.
Well, should we take him to the guy? What's his name? I forget his name already.
Who are we talking about?
Partner. The guy's partner. Didn't he have a partner? Am I in a different story?
Yeah, the guy didn't have a part. He was a loner.
I
He
thought
got
you
kicked.
had a partner we have to get in contact with.
Oh no. Yeah, no, you're in a different story.
Are you seriously? I thought he had someone that we could connect with.
Nope.
No.
God damn it. Well, what? Okay. Sorry, you can cut all this out.
Or else your dad on the way to work, and maybe he can drop me off, or my mom can pick me up, or something, or maybe the clunker guys will I don't trust them. So
No, I'm pissed about that. I'll help you get him there somehow. We can take him on the bus.
Yeah, and we can get you there in the morning. Her dad, if you ask her dad, he'll be happy to take you and drop you off.
yeah, we've got our bus cards too. It'll be fine.
So
And just for the record, remember that Corey was involved in that too.
Well, he's not here, so. I love you, Andy. We
so
hate Jack.
the girls stay together at Shay's place. Next morning comes, and the church bells are ringing, so Jack has got to go round up Memaw and get her to church on time. You go to Memaw's and knock on the front door, and she doesn't answer. You've got a key, so you pop it open, go inside, and you actually find Memaw sprawled out on the floor in the kitchen.
Oh my God, Memaw! I go over, kind of wrestle her.
Oh, sweetie. Oh, I fell. I'm so sorry.
You stay right here. Don't move. I'll be right back with Paul and Billy. We'll get you to the hospital. Just stay right here.
Oh, okay.
And I take off running.
All right, so you go off running, grab Paul, grab Billy Joe,
Yep.
And you guys are sitting there with her. he has Billy Joe call the ambulance, and Paul comes out there with you, and he sits with her, and she's wanting to get up, and he says, "No, don't get up. We don't know if you hurt yourself. Just stay right there. We got somebody coming out. I just feel silly. I shouldn't have fell. I don't know what happened. I just lost my balance." He said, "You've been having these headaches for a couple of days now. Just calm down. Let's just get somebody here. We'll get you to the hospital and just see what's going on. We need to get you checked out." Oh,
you
goodness.
You stay with us here, Memaw. We got you.
Oh, you just stop. I'm fine. I just fell down. That's all. Oh, heavens. Now, if I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, Jack, I want you taking care of Clyde. If I'm going to be leaving, you got to take care of my dog.
Okay.
But I'm going to be fine. Just don't worry about me, but just take care of old Clyde. He needs somebody to look in after him. He needs to be fed twice a day and taken out 3 times now.
I'll do that.
All right. So about 15 minutes pass, and you hear the ambulance pull up outside. They come in. It looks like Memaw's physically okay. She didn't hurt anything. She's got a little bruise kind of on the side of her head. It looks like maybe she might have hit the countertop maybe on the way down. But doesn't look like she's got any broken bones. But they're going to take her in for observation, probably keep her there for about 2 or 3 days maybe, so they can kind of maybe get down to the source of the dizzy spells and the headaches.
Okay.
Gemma, Shay's dad ends up dropping you off at Willard. Now it's a Sunday, but you know that your friend Jim Snyder usually is there on Sundays. He's not a churchgoer, so he kind of comes in on Sunday mornings to kind of do some paperwork, and every once in a while you'll come in and sort through books and kind of keep him company. So you expect him to be there today anyway. And you come in, and Jim pops out of his office, and he says, "Oh, Gemma, how are you? Good to see you."
Oh, great. Thanks. How are you?
Oh.
Everything's normal. How was your weekend? How's everything going?
Oh, doing just fine. Just coming in and doing the weekly paperwork here. Just a little bit behind. It's been a little busy this week, so I'll probably be here for a while. You planning on being here for a little bit, or?
Yeah, I think so. And I kick, like I've set the boxes down and I kind of push them with my foot behind the stacks as I'm talking to him. And I ask, like, so yeah, I have a research project that I'm working on that has to do with incubating dinosaurs. Like, where would that be? What's the, I know the Dewey Decimal System, you know me.
Incubating dinosaurs?
Yeah, well, maybe that's the wrong word, but yeah, I just sort of want to learn about how dinosaurs are born. Normal stuff.
Well, I'd probably check the biology section. There's a little section there in paleontology. You might be able to find something there.
Okay.
There was a boy dinosaur and a girl dinosaur. They liked each other a lot.
Unless there's just female dinosaurs and life finds a way.
That's right.
It hasn't happened yet.
That's fair. We'll find out. So I guess I definitely plan to look into that because I know we have a limited amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just kind of want to hide that box of stuff because I don't have an explanation for how I came by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking at some point, maybe just within 15 minutes or so, I'll discover this box and then come back to Jim and say, hey, this was in a corner on the 3rd floor, that I ran into looking for the dinosaur, genealogy section. And so, like, I don't know where it goes, but it looks really important. What do you think, Jim?
Oh, well, I wonder if somebody brought that in and just and left it behind. Well, if you want to leave it with me, I'll kind of poke through it and see if I can figure out who it belongs to.
Okay, I mean, it looks really important. What happens to documents that are like of scientific importance?
Well, we can always get them, to one of the universities here in town, or perhaps to the museum if it's something of that type. But yeah, it just looks like a bunch of personal belongings to me. It's very well filed, though. I mean, it looks like it's in good order, so I'm sure somebody would want to get that back.
Okay, well that sounds good.
And did you want to, in the time in between there, did you want to try to kind of get more information out of that now that you've got it here?
Yeah, and I think I rolled a few extra successes previously, and I didn't ask any proper questions or anything.
Okay. So based off of what you guys had gone through the night before, and then getting it here and kind of doing a little bit of cross-referencing with some of the newspaper articles and maybe checking the microfiche and doing all of that sort of stuff with the roll that you got already. You've already determined that the good-looking hermit in the woods was a former employee of the Evansville Museum of Arts and Sciences back in the 70s. When the museum latched onto the paleontology boom and reached out to this local native and graduate of Purdue University, Arthur Artie Pemberton, to come on board as a specialist. Pemberton was a master of paleontology and biology, and Artie had worked hard on acquiring as many bones and prehistoric relics that he could get his hands on. Artie was fired for taking samples of some of the fossils home with him. He would also rant and rave to anyone that he could corner that the technology for bringing the dinosaurs back was just around the corner, and that he would be the first to make it happen. This was ultimately what set off the red flags that got him fired in the end. Now, Artie's father, Alistair, was one of the original orchardists for Engelbrecht's, and it was his house that you all discovered off in the woods just east of the orchard. And one of the things about Willard Library is they have a valuable resource of genealogy, and so you probably touched on the genealogy database that they have there. It's all paperwork at this point because it's not all computerized like it is today. But they still really have a very extensive history of folks that lived in the area. Looking at some newspaper articles, it sounds like that Artie and his father were estranged up until his dad's death. But the house that he lived in was still standing when Artie fell on hard times. Artie lost his home downtown in the late 70s after he lost his job and retired to his father's old home, where he began to conduct experiments in private. And this is what you've been able to glean from his personal journals. And he was intent on showing the world that dinosaurs could live once again. Artie obviously succeeded in his experiments, but he, as we noted already, was tapping into the loop's power source through the stretch of power lines that extend from the main reactor towards the west side of Evansville. And he was using found items from DARPA, Sigico, and machines of his own creation in combination with the DNA from the bone marrow of dinosaur fossils that he has accrued over the years to grow the two velociraptors. And it goes into, his paperwork goes into some scientific equations that are a little bit above and beyond what you're able to really comprehend. But it really does look like he did the research to really figure out how to duplicate the DNA of the dinosaurs into lizards and or turtles and other type reptiles in order to be able to grow a fetus and then kind of create within the incubator like an egg type substance for it to be able to gestate and come to fruition. Once they had hatched, and again, this is through his journals, he had been working on training them, but according to his notes, they were getting more unruly as they matured. He had a clicker device that he controlled them with, and most of the time they were pretty good about listening and obeying, but every once in a while they would venture off into the woods on their own, and sometimes into the neighborhoods to feast on the stray pets. And that was one thing that he was getting concerned about, is that they were starting to venture off into areas that were populated. And he was looking at the possibility of putting them down because of the potential danger that was going to arise of them interacting with other animals, number one, and then humans, number two. And that whole area that, around his house, he had basically taken, carcasses of animals that they had fed on and started hanging them about there to kind of keep people away. Just basically in order to kind of help protect the folks that were living in the area around there. Without causing too much suspicion. It was just strange enough, that the local kids, if they wandered back just far enough, they'd be like, oh, this is creepy, and then they got out of there. And most of the adults just didn't believe the kids and thought that they were, full of shit and making stuff up, being out in the woods. So it's basically what you're able to glean, from the information. Now, you've got an area probably downstairs near the children's section that's like right under the stairs there. That's kind of your little nook that you've kind of created for yourself that not a lot of people know about. There's probably even like a black like sheet or curtain that you kind of duck in behind, and you've kind of got your own little space down there, and it's really close to the janitor's closet back there. And that's where normally you'll hear voices and murmurs. And while you have been going through the information before you started to speak with Mr. Snyder, Jim, that you heard that noise again, those whispered voices coming from the janitor's closet.
So is the janitor's closet open?
It's ajar.
So I go into the janitor's closet.
And it's the thing about the janitor's closet down here, it's a fairly small room. But it's really just where the janitors kind of keep all the cleaning supplies and all that sort of stuff, and all those chemicals and everything just kind of mix together and kind of create this kind of floral kind of scent in there that can be a little bit overpowering at times. And that's kind of why they keep the door ajar just a little bit, just to kind of let that out so it just doesn't, potentially combust in there. And you have always, there are big metal shelving units that line this whole place, and they're filled, with different cleaning products and stuff. And it's behind one of these large shelving units there that you hear the voices, and there's a grate behind there. And you've discovered all this after working there for a year or so. And you know that if you get right up on that grate, you can hear the voices just a little bit more plainly. But every time you listen, they never are actually speaking in a tongue that you understand. and occasionally you might make out, a single word that maybe sounds like it's English, but they're very, very few and far between. And sometimes they're whispered voices, sometimes they're full speech, but they sound very distant. You're getting a big echo for sure here. So trying to figure out where those voices are coming from this little small grate that's in the wall back there is almost impossible. But you've mentioned before, I think from what you and I had talked about, you've mentioned before to some adults about the voices, but most of them write it off as the ghost, and on occasion maybe you've brought somebody down, and by the time they get down there, the voices have stopped. So
yeah, and I don't want to shout for Jim, because maybe the voices, whatever they are gonna stop or hear me or something like that. Yeah, I know the janitor's closet is not as sumptuous as the one at the Evansville Public Library downtown, but it's still a pretty nice janitor's closet. So I know I've spent a few times crawling onto the shelves and pressing my ear up against the grate, but it still sounds really distant. So I guess I don't know what my choices are really. I mean, I would roll investigate to see if something comes to me, but I imagine I could either run quick to find Jim or try to go up or down, whatever direction I think I hear the murmurs coming from.
And that's going to be really near impossible to tell, unfortunately, because it's just bouncing around wherever this grate goes. It's just bouncing around, and it's just there. So you would actually physically have to get in there to find out, and it's too small even for you to get in. I mean, it's really about the size of an air conditioning grate.
Diffuser.
Yeah, diffuser. Yeah.
Right, but you know what? We probably have somewhere in the library a little bit of a language lab where people go to make recordings, and maybe we have a cassette player that I can find and a cassette tape.
Sure.
And try to press record and play at the same time with it pressed up against the grate. Maybe see if I can
at least record a section. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a let's see here. Okay, do a mind comprehend again.
Okay.
You want me to roll that for you?
Oh, okay. Thanks.
What's your item? It's that your iconic item is the blank book.
It's in the journal.
Okay, that's probably not going to help in this case.
You could put the blank book under the microphone to get it a little higher.
Stop the reverb.
Okay, so you got 2 successes there. And so you're able to find the item that you need. And I think with the extra success, you just get back down in time to be able to record a snippet of what they're talking about. And it abruptly kind of comes to a pretty quick ending. It doesn't trail off, it just stops. And so, but you did get a little snippet of about maybe 4 minutes worth of dialogue.
Oh, that's great. That's cool. I have to think about whether do I Jim enough to share that with him. I think I do.
He's probably heard you talk about it before, so yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't treat me like I'm crazy. He just thinks it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I believe him. Like, I believe in him. I believe he would be okay to share a bit.
Okay.
So I will go look for him.
All right, so if we fast forward then to the point where you were talking to him about the box and so forth, we've kind of completed that bit of the conversation. So we're kind of Tarantinoing this just a little bit, jumping forward and backward in time. But then if you want to pick up then after you guys have talked about the box and the contents of the box, then we can kind of just segue right into that if you want.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, box is taken care of. I know I'll check back with him to find out where is it? Are they doing something? What did they find out? All of that later. But I wanna share the recording with him and see what he says.
Okay.
4 minutes later.
He says, well, that's very interesting because that's certainly a foreign language. Now, I've done a little bit of studying on some Eastern European language, and if I had to guess, I mean, it sounds almost like Russian, maybe? And you said you got this out of that grate downstairs.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've been working here with us for a little while. How much of the Willard Library history do you really know?
I don't really know an awful lot about it. I just know that there's a gray lady, ghost, and the building is pretty old.
It is pretty old. The library itself was built all the way back in 1885. So it's been here almost exactly 100 years at this point. And it was designed by an architect of the day, a top architect back in that time period named James W. Reed was his name. And it's one of the most famous and recognizable buildings in Indiana. Back in 1972, it was actually put on the National Registry of Historic Buildings. A lot of people think that Willard is the last name of the founder of the library, but it's actually his first name. Willard Carpenter was his name. Now, I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you, but back in his day, he was known as the pioneer of public charity. And he funded the building of the library on land that he personally owned. So all this land out here and a lot of the land in the surrounding area was owned by Mr. Carpenter. And what a lot of folks don't really know is that Old Man Willard was actually an agent of the Underground Railroad before and during the Civil War. Rumor has it that Willard was so enthusiastic about his position as an abolitionist, and with all the land that he owned, he ended up commissioning engineers to build a series of tunnels under the streets of Evansville to safely harbor and transport slaves to safety. Supposedly, these tunnels even go under the Ohio River.
You mean the same Underground Railroad that Harriet Tubman was a conductor on?
Well, it very well could be, yes. Now, who's to say that perhaps maybe Old Man Willard might have had a tunnel built underneath the structure here at the library, but that was well after the Civil War. But that's not to say that perhaps maybe that tunnel didn't exist beforehand, and maybe what it is that you're picking up, and it sounds to me like it's very one-sided. That recording that you played there, it sounds like one voice to me, but I may be wrong. So maybe you're picking up on something from one of the neighboring buildings here in the area through maybe one of these tunnels that Old Man Willard might have built. Now, I think a lot of that speculation is maybe overblown myth, surrounding Old Man Willard. We do know for a fact that he did harbor slaves at his home, the Carpenter home, which is the WNIN building here in downtown. So we know for a fact that is true. But it sounds to me like it's some sort of conversation, or maybe someone's on the phone or something like that, and you're picking it up through whatever tunnels that happen to be somehow connected in some way here to the building. That's interesting, though. I'm glad you finally got it on tape. You've been talking about it for months now, and we finally actually now have some concrete evidence that what you're hearing is definitely audible.
Wow. What should I do with this tape?
Well, if it were me, I'd try to get it translated. I think it's some Eastern European language for sure. Maybe Bosnian, Czech, something of that sort.
Okay.
Just have to figure out exactly what it is, and then see if there's anyone that could maybe translate it for you. Of course, you might be sorely disappointed, and it could be somebody making a pizza order for somewhere overseas.
Okay, well that's really cool. Thank you for telling me the history of the library, Mr. Snyder. And I'm sorry for recording over the children's book Sinbad the Sailor.
Oh. Well, I'm sure we can probably find another one around here somewhere.
Yeah, sorry about that. But maybe it's all for the good.
Well, if I find the owner of this paperwork, I'll let you know, and then if not, we'll make sure it gets a good home.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty.
And by the way, that Bosnia was not a country until after 1992.
Shit.
That would be Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for correcting me there. Did you just pull that off the top of your head, or did you look that up?
I had to confirm it. I couldn't
Okay.
remember if it was Romania or Yugoslavia. But yeah,
All right.
part of the Soviet Union. Those commies.
Yeah. Shay, what do you want
Yeah.
to do this morning?
I guess I'm alone. Does my phone? Did we have caller ID back then? I didn't think we did. Some phones did, right?
No.
Not visual.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
Can I
if
do
I
star-
remember correctly, the star 69, if it was a touch tone, you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, call waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's call waiting. Yeah.
I wonder if in the office I could try that if it's, it's not the rotary. Could I say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we can say that. Sure. Yeah.
For our younger viewers, that was a dial that we would spin up.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you can start 69 now.
I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you do, and generally when that happens, you've done it probably dozens of times. You're probably the only one of the whole group that knows that you can even do that. You hit the star 69, and normally it will start spouting off 8, 1, 2, 5,
867 5309.
867 5309. And this time you hit the star 69 and it immediately goes to a busy signal.
Oh.
And then you try it again, busy signal again. And try as you might, you're not able to get it to go through. I think the first time you think, oh, well, the operator is busy, you know? But then after several more tries, you kind of get the sinking feeling that you're not going to get through to whatever number that happened to be.
All right.
And that, out of the dozens of times that you've done it, that's never happened.
Okay. Got a bad feeling about this.
Jack, Memaw, is taken to the hospital, and you go there with her, sit there throughout, some of her tests and so forth. And the doctors don't speak directly to the kids, but they talk to your dad, and then he kind of comes out and kind of talks to you guys. And it turns out that Memaw is suffering from anemia. And that can certainly be the cause of the dizzy spells and potentially the headaches as well. But they're going to keep her in for observation, maybe run some more tests just to make sure before they would send her home. So she's going to be there for a couple of days. So in the meantime, as she requested, she would like for you to take care of old Clyde.
I'll take care of Clyde.
That angry old dog.
Mm-hmm.
Then before we wrap for the evening for the three of you, is there anything more that you guys would want to do in the meantime?
I mean, I don't know these dinosaur eggs exist, so I can't do anything there. And I mean, the girls are often their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just until we come back together and compare notes.
Yeah.
I guess
Gemma is able to get some information as far as like going through paleontology books and so forth. That's actually ends up being a little fruitless for you. But in the biology section, you look at a book that basically kind of caters more towards raising lizards as a hobby. Okay. And your buddy Corey is an expert on the matter. But you're muted again.
Yeah, Corey's checked it out a number of times already.
Yeah, you can see that he's checked it out numerous times. But that is certainly something that you can take home and kind of start working on trying to create something to help take care of the eggs while they're in Shay's possession. Having said that, I mean,
attic before we leave, I want to go back up to the attic too. So.
Yeah, that's fine. And having said that, I mean, if you're going to do that, you will have to cobble something together or buy something yourself to get it up there. So I don't know. You don't have a whole lot as far as like tech tinker and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so you're maybe not the best person to potentially do that. Shay, also not a good idea there for her either. So a couple of the boys have some pretty good tech tinker. But I don't know if you want to get them involved or not. So
I don't know. We'll have to talk to Billy Joe when he gets back. He's going to side with us anyway. So.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Over his twin, no.
But you wanted to go back up to the attic, correct?
Yeah, I want to go while no one's home, I want to go up there and have a look. I'm gonna pick one of them up and kind of look at it and hold it up to the light.
Come on,
Okay.
Chris. Come on.
No, I'm not gonna do that right now. Not this late at night.
And that's how we end it.
So you do hold it up to the light, and you do see a silhouette on the inside there, and it seems to be lizard shaped for sure.
Okay.
It looked like the Mortal Kombat.
Of course. Awesome.
Okay.
Very gentle.
I
All
like that because you're in the attic. You're going up to the attic at the very same time I'm going down to the tunnels to see if I can find the entrance.
Great cinematography there.
And I will say, Gemma, by the time you leave, it was Sunday morning that you guys that you had gone down there, and it's roughly around noon by the time that you are leaving the building. Your mom's coming to pick you up a little bit after noon. She said she gets off at 12. She'll be there to pick you up, and you're out on the front steps of the library, and off in the not so far distance, you see some red balloons once again. They're much closer than where they were yesterday. And as you're thinking back on it, it was exactly 12 o'clock when you saw the balloons the last time. This time it's considerably closer and certainly would have risen from somewhere in the downtown area. Now, you didn't see them come up off of the horizon, but the Lloyd Expressway has just recently kind of been built. So the overpass that is right next to Willard Library, you see maybe about, 50 yards up in the air, up above the downtown area, you see the red balloons floating. And there's about 6 of them in a bunch. And we will leave it at that for your little cliffhanger this time. Alrighty, well, we'll call it for tonight. It's good spending time with y'all.
Yep.
And we shall see you in 2 weeks.
All right. We'll see you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Good night,
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.